and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hayden Atwater, and I would like to welcome the members of the Board of Education, Mr. Scarice, our superintendent, our own central office administrators, faculty, parents and guardians, family and friends, and of course, the graduates of the class of 2014. I would also like to thank everyone for this opportunity to speak today. I joked when I first found out I'd be speaking. And what a bittersweet day this is. As we look back on all the memories we have made with our closest friends, I look back on my favorites, the pep rallies, the hockey games in the Yale Whale, our long-awaited prom night. We also begin to visualize, maybe a little bit tentatively, all the great memories to come in the not-so-distant future as we begin to branch out on our own individual paths. We're a special class. There's no way around it. We have members that will be attending some of the most prestigious universities in the world, athletes that have garnered our adoration for the great moments of school spirit they create, and artists and musicians that I think deserve to be featured in speech to Merrimack College that he gave this past year. And for those of you who don't know, Charlie Day is a writer and an actor on the hit series TV show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And he said this: "I don't think you should just do what makes you happy. Do what makes you great. Do what's uncomfortable and scary and hard, but pays off in the long run. Let yourself fail. Fail and pick yourself up and fail again. because without that struggle, what is your success anyway? This quote resonates with me because it parallels with a lot of the same values that I believe in and live my life by. Great things don't come easy. We all know that, and I'm not here to preach the cliches of hard work and perseverance in the face of adversity. We've all heard it 100 times over. If there's one thing you take from my short time with you all today, I want it to be to live your life at the edge of your comfort zone. Take chances. Roll the dice. Don't just take advantage of opportunities that are presented to you. Instead, create those opportunities yourself. Take the road less traveled and surprise everyone but yourself with your success. Because it is an amazing, crazy world out there, and the Daniel Hand High School class of 14 is going to change it for the better. I know at this moment, I feel very fortunate that I spent the last 4 years of my life attending this school. I'm sure I can speak for the class of 2014 when I send a huge thank you to all the teachers, coaches, and academic advisors that have come into my life during my high school career. I will carry the lessons I have learned from all of you for the rest of my life, but I'm not referring to the history lectures or the ever-entertaining economics classes taught by Mr. Nye, or maybe the not-so-entertaining statistics classes at 7:25 sharp every morning. Rather, it is the lessons of character, leadership, work ethic, and brotherhood that I will take with me on this next chapter of my life. We've all been given the tools possible for us to achieve success, but now it's our turn to use them to achieve our own potential. We're on our own now. For most of us, 4 short years separated us from the real world. We all started this journey together when we entered the building as BB freshmen with overactive hormones and patchy facial hair. But we're on our way out, and we've all blossomed into young men and women, some of us with the ability to manipulate our facial hair to turn into totally different people, like Uncle Greg during Mustache May. I can't think of any other group of classmates that I'd want to complete this journey with. Congratulations to the Daniel Hand High School class of 2014. Thank you.
Chocolate is magical. Chocolate, specifically dark chocolate, is associated with increasing serotonin levels in the brain. I don't know about everybody else, but to me that means that chocolate is the universal food of happiness. As a stereotype, it is also the ultimate comfort food. A box of chocolates can signify anything from a romantic gesture to a gesture of condolence. America when you look at the 400 there's going to be the computer program at work to consume all of your patience. You can only control you. You control how you act and react every second you face one of those moments completely out of your control. Will you reciprocate the rudeness of that other person? Will you curse the rain? Will you lose your patience with the traffic, the gum, or the computer program? I hope not. I hope you, like I, have learned not to take the universe or other situations personally. You can embrace the rain and take the time and traffic as a welcome break from a hectic life. My advice to finding this attitude is to do at least one thing each day that makes you happy. It can be a little thing, something as chocolate and releasing that serotonin. You never know how these little moments can affect your day, give you a fresh outlook, and help you see that rudeness as an outward manifestation of frustration with the universe. Your happiness is one of those very few things you can control. Life is full of countless decisions and actions. But if you do one thing each day that you know will make you happy, you have at least 365 good memories every year. You are absolutely and entirely responsible for your own happiness. It is not the responsibility of anyone else. And in life, that is your truest and greatest responsibility. So, the bottom line is, even if it doesn't release any serotonin, that piece of chocolate is always justified. Congratulations to the class of 2014.
Good evening, parents and family. 2014. When I was first called down to Mr. Salutary, instantly back. But be tasteful. Really cliche, but the people we have met here have made an impact on our lives, whether we realize that now or not. You may only stay in contact with your close friends, your pungyos, but you will always remember the people like Carl, who say the most inappropriate things in class, just as much as you remember your close friends. Number 2, creativity of our teachers to help us learn. At hand, our teachers go to the extremes to help us grasp the information. Like the time Mr. Glasser locked 3 boys in his little closet and began to bang on the outside to replicate the conditions that caused shell shock. Yeah. Or when Mr. Belantic would break out his extensive collection of Barbie dolls and all their accessories to demonstrate what was happening in the problem. Even though their methods may seem bizarre, it always helped. Number 3, Change is a good thing. If we each remained the same people we were back in middle school, we would all still be awkward children with braces and bad haircuts. I personally thought it was okay to wear knee-high socks and clogs. It wasn't. Change allows us to modify our outlook on life and take what we can from any given situation. Number 4, challenge yourself, even when you really don't want to. Challenge yourself to turn off Netflix, stop stuffing your face, and actually do some work. Challenge yourself to go outside your comfort zone and meet new people. It's rough, but if we don't work hard, we would all be stuck in the same boring place forever and never realize what we can contribute. Number 5, it's okay to fail. I used to believe everything I did had to be perfect. Then I realized that my artwork still looks like a 3rd grader drew it, my papers make me sound illiterate, and I'm one of the least creative people you will ever meet. But, as my mother loves to say, it is what it is. We each have something we are good at. It's just a matter of finding out what that something is. Life is not how we expect it to be, but that is the beauty in it. Each of us will have our own top 5. Take these things with you and build on them. Please don't be the kid who peaked in high school. You don't want all your good stories to stop here. To quote Maya Angelou, you are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us. So take your top 5 and use it to become the person you've always aspired to be. Congratulations, class of 2014. Stay quiche.
Tommy's got his 6 string Gina dreams of running away. When she cried tonight, Tommy whispers, baby, it's okay. Someday, she says we've got to hold on to what we've got. It doesn't matter if we make it or not. We've got each other, and that's all our love. We'll give it a shot. I've climbed highest mountains, I've run through the fields, only to be with you, only to be with you. I've run, I have climbed, I have scaled these city walls, only to be with you. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I have kissed honey lips, felt the touch of her fingertips. It burned like fire, this burning desire. I have spoke with the tongue of angels. I have held the hand of the devil. It was warm in the night. I was cold as a stone, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Still haven't found what I'm looking for. I believe kingdom come, that all the colors bleed into one, Yes, I'm still running. You broke the bombs and loosened the chains, carried the cross of my shame, You know I believe that, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Before I begin, I'd like to thank all the friends, family, educators, and other distinguished guests here today for taking the time out of their busy schedules to join the class of 2014 in celebrating their graduation from Daniel Hand High School. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Mike, and you might be wondering why I'm here, standing before you at this podium today. That makes two of us. I'm supposed to give you some advice, but as I look out at you, my fellow classmates, all adorned in your caps and gowns, each wearing the very same shapeless robe that I'm wearing, I see that I'm in no position to give you, your family members, or the educators here any advice of my own. So rather than pretend to have any answers to life's questions, I like to take this opportunity to share with you a warning that I've been given. I'd like to warn you about the future, or rather, the future that exists in our imaginations. Now today's a special event because it marks not only the end of our high school career, but also the end of a greater journey that many of us began over a decade ago in kindergarten. And while kindergarten might be a distant memory by now, most, if not all of us, can still recall some of the lessons learned in kindergarten, such as don't run with scissors, keep your hands to yourself, and watch where you're going. We, as students, spent much of the past 4 years watching where we were going. Many of us began planning for trade schools or colleges, or ultimately future occupations shortly after or even before we entered high school. By the end of freshman year, nearly all of us had logged onto Naviance for the first time, while much of the infamous stress of junior year arose from a preoccupation with where we are going, or at least where we think we are going. Right now, some of you may think you know exactly where you're going. Some of you might be thinking that you're going down the post road to celebrate in downtown Madison, while others might be thinking that they're going home to take the greatest cat nap ever in preparation for night at hand. But where are you ultimately going? What is your end goal? How and when will you get there? These questions occupy the thoughts of people of all ages today. But while all this planning and scheduling are necessary to accomplish goals, our culture's obsession with future plans has the tendency to give us tunnel vision. Not long ago, a driver was so busy texting CU1 to a friend she intended to meet at 1 o'clock later that day that she didn't notice her vehicle hit and kill a pedestrian. She didn't reach her appointment, by the way. Distracted drivers, like so many of us, focus so much on where they will be in the future that they don't see where they are now. Our fixation with the future not only keeps us from experiencing the present, but also prevents us from reflecting on the past. Now, I'm not suggesting that we should spend the rest of our lives reliving the glory days like Madonna. Sure, she was popular in the 80s, but that does not give her the right to commandeer the Super Bowl. Am I right? Sometimes, though, in order to get to where we want to go, we have to look back at where we've been. Over the past 4 years, members of the class of 2014 have made plenty of memories together. It will be a while, if not a lifetime, before I'll forget stocking up on Jolly Ranchers at Nurse K's office, clapping to the beat of Mr. Nye's cowbell at a pep rally, or working diligently on the bridge. And by working, I mean procrastinating and talking in the company of friends with an open textbook somewhere nearby. Such blissful memories are like a pirate's buried treasure, just waiting to be unearthed in times of need. And if you don't believe me, just ask our resident class pirate, Ted Neighbors over there, who incidentally has the best cap I've seen this evening. Kudos, Ted. Remembering moments in which we accomplished more than we ever thought possible can empower us to overcome upcoming obstacles, or at the very least, get us through those awful 24-hour periods of melancholy drudgery, better known as Mondays. Unfortunately, we all have some memories that we wish we could just forget, but those less pleasant recollections can serve a purpose as well. By pausing to reflect upon humiliations and defeats, we can avoid repeating mistakes later on. So with past joys as the wind behind our sails and past failures as our navigator, we might just reach our port of call on the ever-changing sea of life. Yet the difficulty lies not only in reaching our destination, but also in really being there when we arrive, because you can't capture a memory of the present with your mind stuck in an imagined future. A moment lasts only for a moment, but a memory once formed can last a lifetime. Thank you all for 4 great years. Remember to keep in touch, and above all, don't let tomorrow prevent you from enjoying today. Thank you.
Hello, class of 2014. We've all learned quite a bit in high school. We've analyzed literature, recited Latin orations, survived chemistry labs, and learned to minimize the amount of times we walked up the stairs. But I've also learned the importance of failing. I think one of the best things that happened to me in high school was to fail. I remember the day clearly. After nursing a minor concussion from hitting every pothole in the minefield that leads to our school, I walked into my chem class just to be greeted by a big, fat 40 staring at me. I was pretty annoyed at the world and at myself. And while at the time I thought my life was over, by the end of the day, I was able to realize that failing a test isn't the end of the world. A bad grade in my high school chemistry class was not going to define the rest of my life. I put it in perspective and moved on. We all have days that we'd like to do over again. Imagine how nice it would be to go back to freshman year and stop yourself from posting really anything on social media. Or to not fall asleep with an ice pack on your leg and end up with a cute frostbite. Or to tell your 5th grade self not to buy those slick pair of Heelys, no matter how cool shoes with wheels might seem. Ditto with those pants that zip off into shorts. But we don't have that option, so we should stop taking life's mishaps too seriously and instead learn to have the confidence to laugh at our imperfections. There's one quote by Dr. Seuss that I'm sure you've seen many times, usually as the caption for some basic teenage girl's Instagram of a Starbucks latte. But I think its message is worthwhile. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Don't focus on how other people perceive you. I found that we spend a lot of time worrying about who we should be and not enough being who we actually are. Be proud of who you are and even of the mistakes that you've made. Embrace them. They allow you to grow. Life is full of mistakes and awkward moments. You're going to trip over things that don't exist, choke on air, and you're going to fail. But no matter how the world sees you, at the end of the day, you have to be happy with yourself. Be yourself, accept your flaws and your mistakes, and learn from them. As we start this next phase of our lives, let's stop getting caught up in our failures and find the strength to put them in perspective and to move on. My mom would want me to end this speech with a Shakespearean quote, "To thine own self be true," but I'd rather finish with a little nugget of wisdom from the masterpiece of film that is The Cheetah Girls 2. Strut like you mean it, free your mind. Class of 2014, the world awaits us, but don't enter it afraid to put yourself out there in fear of failing. Free your mind of worries of what you've done wrong and what you might do wrong in the future. Try new things, take advantage of every opportunity you have, and don't be afraid to fail. I'd like to thank Mr. Salutary, our teachers, our parents, and everyone else who has supported us throughout high school and throughout our lives. Congratulations, class of 2014, we did it.
Good evening, and congratulations to the class of 2014. What impressive speeches delivered by our students. Before moving on, I feel it is important to take a moment to thank Mrs. Lynch and Mr. Burr for their behind-the-scenes work preparing for this memorable event, as well as the First Congregational Church for allowing us to use this beautiful space. I hope as students you recognize that you live in a community that is supportive, has high expectations, and truly values the importance of education. Teachers, staff members, and coaches have worked tirelessly with your families to prepare you for the many challenges and opportunities that you will be presented with in your post-high school lives. At this time last year, I attended the graduation ceremony as the newly hired principal. During the ceremony, I recall looking forward to the start of the school year so I could be part of this special school community. This past year certainly exceeded my expectations. In fact, the only disappointment for me is that the year passed by far too quickly. I have been continually impressed with the students and the entire Daniel Hand School community. It is an honor to work with such dedicated faculty, staff, coaches, and community members that are fully committed to preparing students to develop to their fullest potential. Some of my most enjoyable times at Hand have been opportunities I've had to work with the student body. Whether in classrooms, passing in the halls, or while attending after-school and evening events, you have proven to be friendly, sincere, and respectful. Your efforts in the classroom while competing on the playing field or performing artistically and musically have been remarkable. Individually and collectively, you have earned academic honors and recognition for your artistic, athletic, musical, and theatrical talents. I thank you for making my first year at Hand a great one and one I will always remember. Although many of you are excited to be completing high school, I'm sure there is a part of you that is sad it's coming to an end. One thing that I am sure you have noticed is just how quickly time goes by. It seems like it was yesterday I met you for the first time in August and encouraged you to make the best of your senior year. If you reflect back on the past 4 years, I'm sure you feel time passed by very quickly. As you prepare for another exciting phase in your life, I have a few suggestions that I hope you will consider. Set lofty goals that will take you down the path of your choosing. Be proud of your efforts. Appreciate your family and your friends. Challenge yourself. Ask questions. Make mistakes, but don't repeat your mistakes. Laugh often. Be respectful, be honest, smile. Have high expectations for yourself and for those around you. Value your time. The funny thing with time, it will never seem like it's on your side. There never seems to be enough, and you'll always want more. Value your relationships. Enjoy everything life has to offer. And finally, become the person you want to be. On behalf of the current and past district faculty and staff, I want to congratulate you on reaching this major milestone in your lives. Hand is a great school because of the students, faculty, and staff. Again, it has been an honor to be your principal. I wish you nothing but the best and hope the future meets and exceeds your greatest expectations. I'll leave you with a quotation by Ralph Waldo Emerson that I've had on the wall in my office for the past 11 years that I hope you remember. What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. Thank you. Mr. Scarice, at this time, I have the honor of presenting to you the 315 members of the class of 2014 who have successfully met the academic requirements of the state of Connecticut and the Madison Board of Education and are entitled to receive their diplomas.
Hayden Charles Atwater. Brooke Elizabeth Barry. Adam Patrick Bowie. Lauren Elizabeth Brady. Lisa Chernoff Chupp. Gabriella Mary Dess. Christian Adam Kashgarian. Alexi Catherine Stathakis. Isabella McLeod Jabilian. Michael Patrick O'Sullivan. Scott Lewis Rubenstein. Corey Catherine O'Kell. Michaela Harrison Alquist. Alexis Arlene Amatrudo. Kelsey Elizabeth Anderson. Rachel Lynn Anderson. Victoria Carol Angus. Taylor Ann Ardito. Lindsay Karen Arminio. Tori Arnarsdottir. Isabel Peck Baird. Patrick W. Baker. Nicholas J. Balo. Nicholas Charles Bansky. Emily Anna Teresa Barba. Jacob Chase Barba. Natalie Rose Baughan. Kiana Jocelyn Beach. Adam Charles Bechtold. Maxwell Edward Bechtold. Kimberly Noel Beisner. Carl Friedrich Bellerjoe. Devin Austin Bernard. Peyton Nicole Burnett. Colin William Bilchek. Joseph Matthew Blanchard. Colt Austin Blumenthal. Megan Catherine Boswell. Sarah Ann Boswell. Luke Elliott Boyington. Scott Edward Breran. Charles Dalton Bratches. Daniel Lance Brahman. Chase Ruland Briggs. Chloe Dana Broquet. Bill Brown. Courtney Ann Buckley. Cecilia Elizabeth Bueno. Claire Christina Bunes. Paige Elizabeth Bonacore. Haley Caroline Brzezinski. Avery Olivia Butler. Jane O'Neill Butler. Olivia Marissa Calabro. Andrew Edward Card. Jacob R. Cardner. Brian Taylor Carlson. Sarah Elizabeth Carlson. Nicholas Mark Casparino. Mickey Chu. Gabrielle Rose Charleglio. Michael C. Sinicolo. Nicholas Scott Cochran. John Alexander Collins. Allison Ann Kondo. Morgan Taylor Connors. Ellen Hopkins Cook. Amanda Mary Corcoran. Philip Duggan Crampton. Ethan Andrew Kranz. Anna B. Curcio. Adam V. D'Agostino. Brianna D'Angelo. Timothy Robert Donalfo. Monica De Jesus. Joshua Robert DiMartino. Felicia Lauren DiMatteo. Hannah P. Dennison. Jonathan Scott Denton. Elizabeth Rose DeCiccio. Ian David Deely. Gabriella Taylor Diotalevi. Alex Frank Disselman. Nina F. Donahue. James Alex Dorfman. Rachel Mary Doherty. Connor Dowd. Kathleen Marie Downs. Allison Kate Duncan. Owen Brendan Dunn. Justin Michael Dwyer. Blake Charles Egan. Coleman Patrick Fahey. Connor Benjamin Fav. Jennifer M. Fadus. Ariel Martine Feldman. Patrick Allen Furlan. Alicia Susan Featherston. Paul Michael Flanagan. Christopher Daly Flynn. Ashley Teresa Foreman. Nicole Marie Francis Shelley. Andre K. Frederick. Catherine Ann Fritzine. Caroline May Gabriel. Gregory James Galinsky. Emma Lynn Galuzzi. Daniel William Gardner. Haley Corinne Gardner. Juliette Rose Geller. Michael L. Gentile. David Mark Gilson. Caitlin Isabella Gioeli. Martha Kimberly Given. Kendall Ann Goodman. Justine Marie Grotto. Justine Erica Griffin. Claire Marie Gumbrecht. Matthew Steele Hygis. Noel P. Herron. Erin Elizabeth Hart. Megan Finnegan Hart. Daniel James Healy. Morgan Elizabeth Hendrick. Grace Evelyn Hess. Mackenzie Lee Hilton. Brenna Lee Hoban. Christopher William Holland. Andrew Jonathan Hook. Nicholas J. Hornsey. Connor Patrick Hornigold. Lance Everett Hosmer. Daniel Yuming Huang. Brendan Pierce Hughes. Liam Scott High. Nicholas John Iannuzzi. Marie Margaret Yenico. Samuel Richard Jablonski. Brian R. Jackson. Taylor R. Jennings. Kendall Daly Jerzyk. Sophie L. Joel. Kristen Shacy Johnson. Zoe Serena Giuliani. Christian A. Kemp. Austin Patrick Kane. Matthew George Kane. Samuel Aaron Katz. Tiffany Nicole Kaufman. Julie Ann Keenan. Julia Alex Keene. Anne Marie Kennedy. Lillian Price Kennedy. Gabrielle Rose Cairns. Hai-Young Kim. Wesley Stephen Kimmel. Cullen Michael Kinnair. Natalie Janine Kirby. Sarah Faith Class. Bridget Conlon Koff. Cassandra C. Kolstad. Colette Olivia Kramer. Abigail D. Kramer. Meredith H. Cooperstein. Cody Paul Joseph Laska. Ellen Catherine Lawton. Jacob Mateo Lightman. Matthew Lachlan Liambruno. Max Elliott Leveroni. Jordan Anthony Linton Smith. Nicholas Edward Lipset. Michael Anthony Lomazzo. Sarah Elizabeth Lucibello. Nicole Elizabeth Lundgren. Caitlin Alicia Lustig. Jack O'Malley Lynch. Margaret Elizabeth Lyons. Zoe Pierre McCool. Kevin Patrick Mallon. Natalie Victoria Menke. Michael Gerard Marino. Kyle Elizabeth Maxwell. Charles Arthur Maynard. Rebecca Ann Mazzaferro. Andrew Joseph Mazio. Catherine Amanda Mazio. Todd Nathan McAndrews. Erin Caitlin McEnany. Nathan A. McCann. Matthew J. McCluskey. Tara S. McCluskey. Viviana Victoria McKellia. Olivia Paige McKissick. Griffin J. McShane. Stephanie Melendez. Amy Lee Merkel Scotland. David E. Meskel Jr. Melina May Metaxas. Alexander Vladimir Migich. Emma R. Mills. Jake Bailey Mirando. Astrid Nazareth Murto. Caroline Grace Morin. Wesley Carl Morris. Mackenzie Jean Morrison. Charles Frederick Morrow. Darius A. Mostagami. Jesse Edward Mullen. Melissa Ann Mulqueen. Allison Caroline Neclerio. Stefan John Nahar. Jacqueline Lee Napo. Meredith Grace Nardino. Emily Christine Neal. Thomas Edward Neighbors. Nicholas Paul Nelson. Catherine Blessing Nichols. J. Michael Terrence Nixie. Stephanie Nicole Niles. Abigail Riley Nugent. Leah Marie Newmelin. Timothy J. O'Brien. Rachel Odabashian. Jennifer Evelyn Ongley. Timothy James O'Shaughnessy. Elliot Richard Asso. Michael Thomas Padberg. Asa Masai Palmer. John William Panzak. Joseph James Pandolfi Jr. Griffin Thomas Pardalis. Austin Taylor Parisi. Melissa Christina Parker. Prem Satish Patel. Ashley Noel Pavlovic. Stefan Richard Pelletier. August Marin Policio. Catherine Elizabeth Phillips. Mark Patrick Piccolo. Maggie Rose Pollard. Sarah Kiki Papalizio. Jordan James Pop. Michaela Kateri Portley. Brian Joseph Potenziani. Elizabeth Mary Potenziani. Andrew Ross Price. Sarah Victoria Price. Mackenzie Ann Rafferty. Jason K. Ramos. Matthew Thomas Racy. Anush Camille Razavian. Samuel Richard Reardon. Alec B. Reed. Mira Temuka Sophie Reichstein. Lauren Elizabeth Reed. Seamus A. Riley. Benjamin Wilcox Rule. Camden F. Reka. Joshua Edward Riccio. Nicole Smith Riccio. Amanda Lynn Rice. Alexander James Rieger. Phoebe Ann Regal. Daniel Rogers. Louis Davis Rogers. Patrick J. Rogers. Tanner Jeffrey Rao. Emily Julia Ruggiero. Danielle Marie Russo. Willing McCain Ryan. Richard P. Sangster. Megan M. Savage. Kevin Michael Schofield. David Schultz. Sean P. Scupo. Jonathan M. Serio. Emily P. Schaefer. Ryan M. Sisignano. Andrea Itzasli Smith. Kayla Ann Smith. Reed Donovan Smith. Timothy Smith. Victoria Hope Smith Israel. Mary Elizabeth Sobrin. Megan Sydney Sosensky. Brooks H. Sperry. Erin Anna Splain. Abby Catherine Stackpole. Todd Russell Standard. Margaret Emma Stewart. Hunter Jacob Stokes. Ella Maya Sweet. Emily Catherine Syvertson. Stephanie Ann Tashner. Lily Bella Taylor. Ryan J. Thierio. Julia Elizabeth Testori. Megan Lynn Thomas. Ashlyn Elizabeth Thompson. John Robert Thompson. Taylor Gabrielle Thompson. Jason Frederick Tung. Emily Francis Volmer. Jonathan Spencer Walker. John Christopher Weiler. James William Welch. Caroline Elizabeth Wolick. Griffin Joseph Ray. Douglas H. Wu. Jenny Siki Yao. Thomas A. Wilson. Krista A. Ann Young. Brendan George Zinzer.